Hey everybody, happy Facebook Live Monday. How are you doing? I am put my Stampin' Lips on. I've got to get ready for awesome stamping. I hope you guys are ready for some fun today. I've got a couple of great, I've got several fabulous projects to share with you. And then, I don't know, do I have any good stories to tell you? I'm trying to think. What happened this weekend? Well, so my husband is working away from home this week, and I hadn't done laundry since I was on my trip to Salt Lake. So I did catch up on a bit of laundry, and actually this is a little embarrassing, but well, it is what it is. So I had this rather, we'll just call it sizable pile of clothes in my bedroom. Most were clean, like maybe worn but not dirty, like needed to be hung up, but it was nighttime, I was going to bed, and I really didn't feel like hanging it up, so I just put it in this pile. Well, that pile kind of grew and festered and like attracted in some other clothes, and it got pretty big. So I took care of that, and it took me about 2 hours. So that was fun. And my husband helped me do laundry, and I'm trying to think back when the last time he did that was, because, well, he's wonderful. Laundry just isn't usually on his list of stuff to do. So he helped me with that. So that was really nice. I think partially because he needed clean underwear and jeans for his trip. So he's working out on a farm this week, and so he needed farm clothes versus dress clothes. So anyway, I did accomplish that, which I thought was really wonderful. And then last night I had a lovely little dinner date with my son, and we discussed what we were going to do this summer, because today is the first day the kids are off school. Friday was their last day of school, and I really am excited to have them home all summer long. Luckily today, though, we have visitors here. Whitney, she's on the floor, so you can't see her, but her sweet little baby is sleeping on her back right now in a little backpack thing. So you might hear him. Oh, there he is. See, there he is. So cute. Look at him. Like, how is his neck not going to hurt at the end of this nap? That's what I'm wondering. So right now, Carl is watching her two older boys because she can't be here tonight when she normally comes without her kids. So I said, no problem. My kids will watch your kids. And so it's really sweet, though. They are out watching, I don't know what they're watching, some kind of kid show. And they're playing with Legos. So it's good. But her boys are 3 and 6. So Carl's having a wonderful time. He's really good with them. But this one is 10 months. He's really sweet. So anyway, I hope that you guys will enjoy that. I am hoping like at some point he might talk to us, because apparently he says words like mama, mama. My heart melts every time he comes over, and he's like so squishy and cuddly, and he cuddled up with me and I loved it. So it was all wonderful. Thank you. That's so cute. I'm glad you guys like my earrings. So I generally have worn the same pair of earrings for about a year. And I went crazy and bought a couple pairs of earrings at Target like a week or two ago. And it was so fun to buy something that wasn't just boring. The other pair I wore on a little like girl date that I had. I met one of Ella's friends' moms for wine last week. I totally shouldn't have, but I did. It was great. Great to get out. But I wore these other earrings, and they were like little tassel-y things. They're kind of big, actually, because I'm used to wearing little teeny earrings. But they were big and kind of hanging down, and I just kept touching them. So I thought that was funny. Also, it does definitely distracts from the fact that I forgot to put my makeup on before I went live, and then I was like, oh well. So Whitney is here helping me work on my product shares, which most of them will go out this week. Not quite all of them, but most of them will go out this week. And then what else do I have? Oh, I have a big team meeting this week. So that is kind of a big, exciting thing that I have going on. We're going to have a really awesome, it's like kind of a little weekend event. So I'm really excited about that. And then I also have my new catalog kickoff has been so much fun. We had champagne and PJ party earlier this week. Last night, we had a really fun live and we did a fun contest. And I still have a few more surprises up my sleeve. So there's still fun stuff going on right now. So if you haven't joined, you totally can get in on the fun. We have seriously been having a really good time, and I have some really fun stuff coming up. So I can't wait till you guys check it out. And like I said, if you haven't joined yet, there's still time to get in on it. The cost is $10 and it's refundable if you order from me, but everybody who registers gets, and where, let's see, I had it out so I could show you, but then I think, oh, it's right here. Everybody who registers gets a package of these new Noble Peacock rhinestones. So everyone's a winner. Plus, I have tons of prizes that I've been giving away, and I think I'd have to look at how much, I haven't added up how much I've given away, but I have over $500 of stuff to give away, and I think I'm a little over halfway there. So there's still lots and lots of prizes to go, so lots of fun. Anyway, there's still time to get in on that, so if you haven't registered, you still can. I'll put a link in the description of this video. It's also in last week's Facebook Live video, so you can take advantage of that if you want. Now today I have a couple of guest request projects that we're going to make. I also have some fun cards to share with you. I don't have drawings today, and the reason is because my order hasn't come with my stamps. So, Julie, you live in DeWitt? Oh my gosh. I live in Bettendorf. Did you know that, Julie? We're like practically neighbors. That's awesome. All right. So I will do a double drawing next week because my stamps aren't here yet. I don't have I don't have new stamps to give to you. I said I don't have fun stamps. I don't have free stamps. I don't have new stamps yet. My order is on its way, so hopefully I'll have them soon. Wendy made my I'm just reading this. Made your congrats pop-up card and filled it, with glitter for graduation cards. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I did a pop and twist card. I don't have the card I actually made handy, but this was like my template that I practiced on, one of these cards. Have you guys ever done one of these? This one didn't go back together quite as nice. That was my simple to stunning Sunday from last week. So okay. Also coming up, I have Facebook class. I have a monthly Facebook class that happens each month, and we will get started actually not till the 18th because of my big meeting and my product shares that I'm trying to get out. I want to get all of that done before we start up. Plus, it gives me a little more time to kind of get going with the new products. So that will be awesome. All right. So anyway, it's really exciting to have all these fun new goodies. I have had a really good time stamping for all of the things that I have going on. And today's projects are actually, well, we have a good little assortment of projects. I'm going to do actually probably two projects that I've cased from the catalog. I pretty much copied them. But I want, people were asking how to see, or how the new 3D embossing folders work, as well as how the woven heirlooms bundle works. So we're going to use this with the new folders and die cuts. It's going to be pretty cool. And then I posted a video. I don't know if you guys saw this yet. Last week on Friday, Friday in the middle of the night, of a video that I shot when I was at the home office with Sarah, and it was really fun. And it's using one of my favorites from the new catalog called Beautiful Friendship. We're going to make a card with that today because I kind of can't stop. I've been having so much fun with that set. It's such a pretty set and it's really easy to work with. So I like that a lot. And then we also have a couple of cool cards, some DSP that we're going to use today too. So I think I've chit-chatted long enough. It looks like there's lots of people on here. Oh my gosh, there was a 4.0 earthquake in Ohio. Wow, that's crazy. So anyway, are you guys ready? I'm going to flip my camera around, so close your eyes for just a second, guys. I get this. Situated. So there we go. I'm going to show you too, because I see it on my background. This is the new, I made little samples. Well, okay, here, first things first, let's go through my cards. These are cards I've received in the mail. And this one, I loved this. This one is a throwback to the late 90s, early 2000s. And it is, it definitely is. I remember both of these actually. So this was from Francie. She's on my team. But this was a sweet card that she made from a long time ago. But I love it. It's so cute. So thank you so much for that, Francie. Here's actually, this is quite a throwback too. This card has, it's from quite a while ago too. This one is from Carrie. And I'm pretty sure this was called Pick a Petal. I totally remember this. I loved it. And then she's got some colored gingham ribbons. So fun on here. So thank you so much, Carrie, for that. That was really sweet of you. And then another card, of course, in my favorite signature colors. This one is so sweet. And look, she sent a picture. I'm showing this, Paulette, sorry. But this is her daughter who graduated, so that's so cute. And she sent me just a lovely, lovely note. But this is that Country Floral embossing folder. Now, there are some folders, and I haven't looked, I don't think there was an update on this, but there are some embossing folders that are not available. They are the carry over 3D embossing folders that are not in to Stampin' Up yet. So don't worry, they're not gone or sold out or retired. They're just not available quite yet. And for some reason, the system doesn't quite acknowledge it correctly. So if you've tried to order them, you can see them in the online store, or maybe they're not even in there. I can't tell you for sure, but don't worry, hold tight. They're coming. They're just not quite here yet. And it's because of our new manufacturer for our all things die cutting and embossing. So we'll talk about that when I get to my folders a little bit more as well, just so you know. Look at this. This card is so sweet. This one is from, who is this one from? Oh, Carolyn. So Carolyn's on my team as well. And I loved this card. It is so cute. She used this stamp set, which I want to say is called Flower Patch. It's been discontinued for a couple years now, but it is actually one of our first photopolymer sets and one of our first sets of framelits that we had, which I just loved, went with this set. And then she combined that with the little polka dots from the Incredible Like You. And I think she must have won this in a prize patrol from me. But I loved this card because it's just happy, fun colors. So well done, Carolyn. And thank you so much for sharing that with me. And then I've got one other awesome, awesome card. This one is from Lynn. Lynn is the mother of one of my team members. And actually, I've known Lynn for a long time, but she sent me this really pretty card as well. This features the Tropical Chic bundle. So it's really cute. And she did the inside too. She goes, "Thank you, Mom." So I thought that was really sweet. So thank you so much, Lynn. I appreciate it. Lynn lives in Delaware and her daughter lives in Cedar Falls, my old town. So, and she is her daughter is a good friend of mine. Okay, I'm going to move this because we're not quite ready for it. But I wanted to show you, we have, and here I might do a little impromptu project here. But I wanted to show you, I think in my unboxing live, I did, in fact, I threw it away because it was so bad. I did the new powder pigments. What are these called? They're like something about sprinkles. Pigment Sprinkles. I did like a background with them on our new watercolor paper, and I, let's just say, used an excessive amount of sprinkles. So I tried again, and the first one I did was this one, and you can see like there's way too much on here. This is Bermuda Bay. And when I did it, I did not, like, here's Bermuda Bay, and you can see this. It's got 3 giant holes. Yeah. We're going to take some washi tape to this, and we're going to cover up 2.5 of those giant holes so that all that is left is 1/2 of a hole. I also know that Whitney is standing behind me dying. A little bit. Okay, so you can see I just have part of one hole exposed now. Now she's really dying. It's so bad. Oh my gosh. Somewhere on this earth, my husband is also dying. Okay, so I'm covering that up with washi tape because too much comes out. So when I close this, I don't snap it closed. I just screw the lid tight, not tight on it, just so it's closed. Okay, so it's not screwed down all the way. It's just loose on here. Because what I want to do, and thank you for laughing, by the way. I'm getting laughing hearts on my thing. I know. By the way, one of my silly things I meant to tell you this, Whitney, one of my silly engagement questions on my catalog kickoff was what's a word that sounds dirty but isn't? There's been a lot of interesting comments on that one, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to take a piece of watercolor paper, and we're going to make a background with this with a little more control than when I did that in my unboxing video. Okay, first and foremost, you need to protect your work surface. So anyway, this is the Bermuda Bay, Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, and Mango Melody. Gosh, that was good. I'm impressed. I know, that's what she said. That's what they're saying. You guys, it's so bad, isn't it? It really is. I can't even help it. Okay. And actually, I don't even care anymore. I'm owning it. It's all good. All right. I used to try and be like, so, oh my gosh, I don't want to like upset anybody. And I still don't, but I think you got to not take yourself too seriously, right? All right, so what I'm doing is I'm wetting down my cardstock with water in my aqua painter, just clean water. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna sprinkle a couple of colors in here. I'm gonna do these 3 colors. Now these are just like Brusho, that we used to have, only they're pretty. Brusho weren't necessarily the prettiest colors. I mean, some of them were, but I think the one that got me, it was the blue, just wasn't a good Stampin' Up! Blue, and then the green looked brown under the right conditions, and I didn't like that either. So I love this. I love these colors a lot. Okay, so like I said, a light touch. Okay, so look at, that's probably plenty. Okay, and then I'll put a little down here. And then a little over here. Oops, and that's plenty. This one, I have that whole hole open. I might have to put some more on there. More tape on there to cover it up. All right, so then I'm just going to cover these back up and put them away. So good Lord, I don't cause an international incident. Okay, and then I'm just going to drip a little more water and kind of let these sort of go. Okay, and it also really helps if you have some kind of rag or paper towel that you can clean off your aqua painter, because you can see they're heavily pigmented specks. Okay, so then I'm just gonna kind of keep going. So we've got nice bright green, and then we've got some, I think this was the Daffodil Delight. So kind of some fun colors right there. Isn't that cool? And then when your cardstock is wet, they kind of will blend together. And you can see I'm helping it along with my aqua painter a bit. But I don't want them to all meld together. I like that there's, you know, definitely some differences. Now to help this, because otherwise it would take forever, to help this dry, we'll get my aqua painter out. Now you can also get fun effects, and you can see I dissolved those crystals pretty well with the water I had on here. To get some other effects, you can use water and spritz your water on, and that will show those crystals a little bit more. But I didn't have my spritzer out, so this is kind of why we're doing it this way. And I just wanted to make kind of a fun background quick. So I think that looks good. So yeah, this is Bermuda Bay, Granny Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to set this aside for, it's still not quite dry. It's mostly dry. And then I'm going to definitely clean out my aqua painter so that I get all of that color out. So when I use my aqua painter next, it's not dirty. Okay, so there we go. All right. Now I've got this cool, fun background, and I also happen to cut out some letters. So we have a new set of dies, and let me grab the set here. I think it goes to this Praiseworthy Prose. So we've got, look at a full alphabet, and then there's even like there's an ampersand, a question mark, an exclamation point, some brackets, all of your international symbols, little asterisks. These are apostrophes. So we've got it all. Umlauts, even if you want to umlaut up your words, you can. So we're all set. Now there's also some stamps that go with this. So I just die cut hello, H-E double hockey sticks. Oh, my kids said double hockey sticks not too long ago, and it kind of made me giggle, which is funny because sometimes they're kind of righteous and they pretend like nothing bad ever comes out of their mouth, and then I remind them that that is not actually true. Okay, so there we go. I love this set though. It's kind of fun. And then there's also some kind of cute little pieces that go with it. So I think I'm gonna say hello, and then I'm gonna add maybe full of cheer in good spirits. I think we'll add that sentiment on here. And then we can even add a little, like some hearts, because why not? I think it would be cute to do that. What word is it? Cheerful. Yeah. Why can't I find it on here? Everything's backwards. Ah, cheerful. Okay, so we'll add this. This now, right before the catalog retired, I said I recommend getting the other alphabet set of dies that retired, and the reason was because those block letters are so good for so many things, but they're a little different from these letters. Actually, they're a lot different because these are smaller and they're kind of a brush stroke type of letter versus just the nice block letters. So I still stand by this. In addition, these are a lot smaller. I'm just really getting this dry so when I stamp on it, it doesn't feather. Okay. So I really do like it. I do like this new alphabet as well, though. And this is something you could really do with the other alphabet set just fine, too. So, and I know a lot of you took advantage of it because it was on the 30% off, which was awesome. Okay, now I'm going to stamp this in black. If I can find my ink pad here. So I'm going to stamp Memento. Ooh, gosh, I almost messed that up. Okay, cheerful. But I'm going to do my little heart in coordinating ink colors. So it kind of blends into my background so it's not like too in your face, you know what I mean? So I'll use my Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, and Bermuda Bay on here. By the way, this was not one of my planned projects. This is just sort of happening. So we're going off script here a little bit. You know how I like to do that. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp a few of these hearts on here. And I'll grab my stamp chamois to clean them off. I'm going to get rid of that. We'll do Granny Apple Green. One more right there. And then maybe one or two in Bermuda Bay. Or three. Okay. All right, so there we go. I think that's just fun. Now we're going to add the hello on top. And to add these letters, the easiest way is to use your... Hey, Whitney, there are some sponges in that little cubby. Keep going right there. Turn, 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 and right there. Thank you. Thank you. So my favorite thing to do is to use a sponge and some liquid glue. But I had to throw my old sponge away because it was pretty gross. Like it was full of glue. So I take a sponge and cut it into sixths. So I cut it in half and then the half into threes. And then I can use these for sponging or whatever. But in this case, I'm going to take and clip a little binder clip to this, and then it's going to be my gluing sponge. All right, I'm going to pull out my silicone mat, and you guys have seen me do this before. But if you're new to the show, this is a really great way to do this. So I'll squirt some glue on my silicone mat because this will come off. And because this is a new one, it's going to kind of soak up the glue a little bit more than it normally would. But what I want to do is add my hello right above here. So I'm going to kind of position my letters on here like so. Isn't that cute? Okay. Have I really been using that sponge? Yeah, it goes a pretty good amount of time before you have to change it. And then you kind of pick up some dust and some particles and some things. So, you know, you got to get rid of it every so often. Change it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just sponging this on to get a little of adhesive on here. And then I'll add it to my card. But by setting these out, I kind of can get the positioning for them. And then it just goes really easily. Isn't this an awesome tip? I learned this from my good friend Connie. She introduced this to me, gosh, a good year or so ago, maybe more. And then what's nice is your silicone mat will clean up easily. And then you don't have glue all over absolutely everything, especially your fingers. Because I think we can all agree that is about the most annoying thing is when you have glue on your fingers. Okay, so isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, I really like this. Check this out. Cute. Bodie likes it. Whitney likes it. Okay, so then when this is dry, we'll just kind of peel this off and then it will be all good. Okay, now let's finish up our card here. I'm going to take and do a couple colors on here. I don't remember what size this was. So I think I think this will work. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Now this kind of got all, when I dried it, it kind of curled a little more than I was hoping it would, but we'll just convince it to go back. Oh, that's much better. And then we'll adhere it with our glue. You can also stick this under something heavy for a little while to flatten it out, and that's probably what I would do, but so that you guys can see the card get completed. We'll finish it up. And I think this is so fun. But wait, there's one more thing that we can do to really kind of jazz this one up. We're going to fold it on our, oh yeah, that's cute. But what I want to do is do a little shimmer paint on here. So I'm going to take my Champagne Mist. I've got this in a Stampin' Spritzer. It's 70% rubbing alcohol with a dollop of Champagne Mist, about the size of a pea, give or take. And then I kind of spritzed a lot, but I'm getting towards the end. And then look at that. Now it's all shimmery. Okay. So I added a whole bunch of shimmer to this. And then I'm going to pop this up onto my card. So I think this is so much fun. Now you can also, besides these, this would be the positive of the dies. You can also do a negative of the dies where you cut out. And there are samples like that in the catalog. In fact, I think there's one in the front of the catalog. I'll show you really quick. So isn't that a fun card? So I know I'm going to send this to my good friend Carmen, I think, to cheer her up. Oh, actually what I wanted to look for is up here. Yeah, this is a negative where they've gotten rid of the letters and then they put DSP behind. So that's really fun too. So isn't that great? And I also like the price of this bundle, $53, which is a lot more reasonable than that big, huge alphabet. Again, I still stand by that big alphabet, but this is a good price for this. Of course, these letters are much smaller. In fact, you'd be hard pressed to get hello all the way across here. You could, but it would definitely look different. So anyway, the L's look different from the sample in the catalog. Do they really? Let's take a look. It's possible I'm not even using the right L, to be 100% honest with you, because I think I die cut this before I'd actually looked at every single letter. Let's see what page this is on, because I can't remember. Page 109. Oh yeah. I don't think I used the right letter. I don't know what I used. But it still works. You're right. Those are these little J's are the L's. It's all good. A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Huh. I wonder what this is for though. You know what? I thought this was like some kind of weird foreign language thing, but it's not. Anyway, well, there you go. There's my card, and I'm sticking with it. It still says hello. And there you have. Okay, so there's that card. All right. Next up, though, Praiseworthy Prose. It's a goodie. Next up, we're going to make a really, I think, fancy card. This one features a really wonderful stamp set called To a Wild Rose, and this is a bundle. And I think I had actually several requests for this. So I wanted to show you this card. Now I combined this, and actually I gotta find my pieces here. I combined this. No, I think I've got it here. It's just what happened to it. You know how it goes. Okay. Okay, well, on this one, we're going to combine, actually, maybe Whitney. Can you die cut me one of these labels in green? It's right there. I just, in Pear Pizzazz, hopefully. If that doesn't fit, there's some in my scrap drawer. I did do one right before I got on, but I can't find it. I hate when that happens. Is your scrap big enough? Yep. Okay, good. All right, so this To a Wild Rose is a really great stamp set because it's got the 3 parts that you can use, plus a beautiful leaf. And then what I really love are the sentiments in here. I love the mixed fonts and kind of the brush letters. They're so pretty. I kind of did the edges off of that one. Barely. Oh, you know, this is okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Okay. So I've got my label here in Pear Pizzazz ink. And then I also took from here, the dies in this set are really fun. So I took and die cut a couple of leaves in soft Seafoam and then a couple of the flowers in So Saffron. I also am going to show you, sometimes I like to kind of show you how my process works a little bit. And I did this the other night in my catalog kickoff live. So when I started working with this, here's some of the pieces. I started with this flower and then when I put it on here, I was like, oh, well, I want to use the words and they didn't quite fit. So, oh well. Then I stamped it in So Saffron on So Saffron cardstock. So like this is stamped on white cardstock with stamped off So Saffron, full strength So Saffron. This one is just on the cardstock, but again, not enough room to stamp my words. So then what I decided to do was just alleviate this part, the stamped rose, and then focus more on the words. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stamp that word blessed, because I love that, in some Pear Pizzazz ink right on my label. Okay, and so I'm going to stamp that right in the center, and that looks fantastic. Okay, and this one was stamped a little better, so we'll go with that. All right, so I've got that on my label. Then what's really cool about this is in the stamp set, there's lots of different words you can put with blessed. So I'm going to be blessed to be your friend. Now I'm going to stamp that in Mossy Meadow. Now the reason I'm using this color combination is because I wanted to pull out this is the Garden Lane printed paper. It's all shades of green patterns. And this paper is one that I was like, oh yeah, that's nice. But now that I've played with it a little bit, I'm really sold on it because it coordinates with just about anything. You can put all kinds of different stuff in with it and it looks fantastic. Okay, so I'm pulling the Mossy Meadow out of the background of this to combine with my Pear Pizzazz. And it's so I've got to be your friend. And let's see if we can stamp that just a teeny bit better. You know what? Here's the problem. My butt's not out. So that time I got my butt out and look at, it's the best one. Okay, so I'm going to take and snip this out. I'm going to make it kind of long because what I want it to do is kind of go all the way across my label here. Like so. We'll pop this up. All right. So blessed to be your friend. Now we're going to decorate it up with these pieces. And I knew So Saffron was going to look awesome with these colors, and any color would look fantastic with this, whether it's some of our in colors, subtles. I probably wouldn't go brights too much, but a lot of different colors are going to look fantastic with this. All right, so we'll pop this one up. And then we're going to layer up our card. So like I said, I die cut these pieces. All of these, including the label, are right out of this bundle. And then the sentiments are just so pretty. Blessed to be your friend. Like, who would not be so tickled to get a card like that in the mail from you? I mean, I think that would really be awesome. Okay, so this is going to be our background. Now I've got this on my card, and we'll pop this layer, the whole label up as well. Oh, snack time? Awesome. Okay, now actually I took all of these off my dimensionals, but I'm not quite ready to stick them down. So we'll put these, I'm sticking this on my silicone mats because I'm not quite ready. Now what I want to do is tuck these leaves behind here like so. And here's the beauty is this, I can see my printed paper through my silicone mat. Do you see that? You can see right through. So I can kind of make sure that I'm getting the spacing right on this. And then we'll add this. Oops, I might have ripped that a little too much, but that's okay because we can glue dot it back into place. Okay, so I'll take and add, oops, I'm gonna add this kind of right there, like so, and then we'll do the same over here. So if you're just joining us, we are working with the To a Wild Rose bundle, so pretty, and then I'll use the scissors rather than rip. Get a little better result. And oh, I keep putting the glue dot on the back, but I want it on the front. That's okay. All right, this silicone mat, you guys, seriously, it is like the bomb. You can do so many things with it. Okay, we'll put that on like that. Okay, now it is sticking outside of my cardstock, but my card is going to be bigger too, so it should be okay. The other, ooh, this glue dot, however, is sticking way too far out. We're going to have to do something about that. Not 100% sure what the answer is going to be. Ooh, it came off. How awesome is that? So I'm going to scrunch up my glue dot so it's more like a log instead of a dot. And then I'll tuck it right under there so it's not showing. Perfect. Okay, next up, I kind of felt like I needed to add a little something, but I didn't want it to get too busy with my printed paper. So I took and punched a couple of these three leaf punches out of vellum. I had another one on here. Where did that little stinker get away to? Oh, and I just found the label. Of course. All right, so these I'm going to tack under here also. Now they don't line up exactly. However, I think that they look kind of cool in conjunction with it, and because they're vellum, things don't get too busy. So look at that. Isn't that neat? Now let's take all of this business and get it on our card now that we're ready to kind of adhere everything. So I'm going to put this on my printed paper. So pretty, you guys. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now we're not done yet. We're going to layer this up. So I've got a layer of my Mossy Meadow cardstock. I love pulling in that darker color that's in this printed paper. You can see just in this piece alone, I've got soft Seafoam, I've got mint macaron and Mossy Meadow. And then I think you kind of, in the packet of paper, there's also Pear Pizzazz. You can see the Pear Pizzazz on here pretty clearly. So it's just a really cool combination of all those greens. And I just love the look of all of those together. It's really fantastic. All right, so we've got that. And next we're going to adhere this to our soft Seafoam card base. And then look at how pretty this is. Oh, it's really pretty. And these are not really my colors either. I kind of like that I went out of my comfort zone a little. I'm not a huge subtles person, but I do love a good, pretty card. Now we have one little thing that we need to do. And that is, I think this card needs some pearls to be embellished with. So we'll take and add some of these pearls. Uh-oh, where did my pick your tool go? Goodness, things are dropping. Ooh, I really don't know where it went. Well, that's okay. We can do this old school. All right, so I'm going to add some pearls here. Okay, so I'll put kind of a couple on either end. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 over here. Okay, isn't that pretty? So pretty. All right. And, I just saw somebody said soft seafoam is tricky. I agree. I struggle with soft seafoam a little bit myself, but I really love the look of this. I think it just looks fantastic. So there we go. That is my card with the To a Wild Rose bundle. And again, I just love the different combinations you can get both of with the flowers and dies as well as those words. They're really nice. Okay, now one of the other requests that I had for today was to show you guys how the woven Heirlooms bundle worked. All right, so let me pull out the catalog, because what we're actually going to do is case 1 or 2 of the cards that are in here. All right, so first of all, my favorite part about our catalog is all the ideas that are in here. The other thing is they kind of show you how things work a little bit, which is really handy. And in this bundle, and let me just get rid of some of these things, because I know how you guys don't like when I leave ink pads open. So let me put those away. I also need to get rid of, what did I do with my stamp set? I got to get rid of the stamps. All right, so how this bundle works is there are 2 dies that come, and then in conjunction with that, 2 embossing folders. Okay, so let me grab them 1 sec. All right, so here are the 2 dies. They're 2 frame pieces. So you've got a rectangle frame and an oval frame, and then there's 2 embossing folders, and these are the new 3D embossing folders. And this one coordinates with this piece, and then there's an oval that coordinates with the oval, which is right here. Okay, so what happens is you die cut the oval or rectangle first, okay? Then what you do is you open up the folder, and you put your die cut piece in, okay? And then you run it through your embossing folder. Now, the new 3D embossing folders are a little bit different from the ones we used to carry. They're not quite as thick. Remember those dynamic embossing folders we used to have were pretty thick. And when you would run them through your multi-purpose platform with no tabs, or no thin die adapter, I should say. I think that would equate to no tabs. And then you would put 1 piece of cutting plastic. You still do that, but the problem is because this is a little thinner, we need to add a little piece to it. Now the thin die adapter, that little piece, that's kind of like a tab on the old platform. Let me grab it. This is too thick to go with this and 1 piece of plastic. So what you're going to do is skip this, and then what I put through were some shims. And basically I just went and I've got 5 sheets of cardstock. So I started with 4, and then I found that 4 wasn't quite enough, so I added a 5th sheet. Okay, and that 5th sheet really helped get the right thickness. Okay, so then when you emboss it, this is what you get. Okay, now the best way to figure out how many, now first of all, every big shot is a little different. So what works in your big shot might be different from mine. And if you have a different type of machine, it might alter things a little bit as well. But this is what worked for mine. And to figure that out, I just added a piece of cardstock till it went through and I could feel that pressure. And I started off with too much, so I backed off a couple sheets, actually, is what I did. So either add or subtract sheets till it goes through and you get the design you wanted. Now, I started with 4 and that worked, but the design wasn't even the whole way through. But when I added the 5th, then the designs all were coming out nice and evenly embossed. So that was kind of the trick to it. Okay, so let me show you. First of all, I hope that makes sense. Yes, chipboard would probably work. You might need a piece of chipboard and a piece of cardstock so you can see this. This is, I guess it kind of depends on what chipboard, because, you know, chipboard comes in different thicknesses. But really all that you want is something that's going to fit through your big shot or your machine that's not too tight. The main thing is don't force something through that's too tight, because that will do harm to your machine. Okay, the only way you really can harm your machine is by forcing something through that's too thick. All right, so now, because I spent some time with my family this weekend, so I didn't do a ton of stamping. Today, I'll tell you, my kids have been really taking up my time. This is just not how summer is going to go. I'll tell them that right now. But we had to, long story short, I haven't had a ton of time. So I thought, you know what? We're just going to case these cards in the catalog. All right, so I cut my paper to coordinate with the catalog. And I've got this project and this project. So let's make these. I'm altering mine a little bit, so there you go. All right, so first of all, I cut the cardstock for each of these. And like I said, I'm going to alter mine slightly. But I took the coordinating printed paper, which, by the way, is beautiful. It features all the new in colors, which are really cool. And I'll tell you, Rococo Rose and Terracotta Tile are not colors I would have put together, and now I love them. So isn't that beautiful? Those papers are so pretty. Now we're going to combine that with our Woven Textures stamp set, which I was going to say, my gosh, I had this out. What happened to it? So I've got my Woven Textures right here. And oh, look at that. It's brand new. Now in the catalog, let me just pull this back in for a second. I love this. I've got some fun little touches. I've got the Thinking of You. So this is really pretty. I've got this little embellishment, whatever that is. And I think maybe this is on there too a little bit. We'll see. And then over here, I've got the I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. We'll stamp that on there. And I think we're going to do the Thinking of You on this one as well, because I don't have this forever die cut. It comes from something else. All right, so we're just going to we're going to make these 2 cards. Now, on this one, I'm going to fold my card base, add my printed paper, and then we'll stamp up this. Now this, what we're going to stamp on, is actually a piece of the printed paper, so I love doing this. Okay. And we'll adhere this on here like so. And then I cut my piece of cardstock to be 3 by 4 inches, and then that is going to be just a touch smaller than my frame, so it'll fit in here perfect. All right, so for this, I'm going to do my stamping like I said. I'm going to stamp Thinking of You with Pretty Peacock, which I was kind of deciding yesterday was probably my favorite of the new in colors. I really like this color. Okay, and then I'm also going to take my Terracotta Tile out And we'll stamp a little of that on here as well. So thinking of you right in the center. Isn't that pretty? Fancy. And then we'll add this, whatever this thing is. I don't know what it is. It's like a bracket or something. We'll add this right here in our terracotta tile right above. And that looks nice. Okay. Now, so this is funny. I had the markers and then I actually gave them to one of my downline, and my new set of markers isn't quite here yet. So I'm going to take the Calypso Coral because it's pretty close to terracotta tile, and I'm going to spritz this because no one will know the difference. Okay. So there we go. I just put a little spritzing on there, and that just kind of, I think, makes it look lovely. All right, now I will take my frame. Now you could totally make this into a shaker card, by the way. That would be really cool, and it would look awesome. But what I'm going to do instead, and you know what, I think I'm going to stamp one of these on the bottom too. Just because. It's my card. I can do that if I want. So you could totally do that if you wanted. I'm not going to do that though, but I will pop the layer up. And by the way, both sides of this frame look cool. So you can really use either side, the embossed or debossed. Okay, so Fran, you're saying you can't spritz the way I do. When I watch people do it, usually what I notice is that they do this. They go, dee, 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 dee. That's not going to do it. You got to put this in there like most of the way and then push with some force. So listen to what's happening. Did you hear that snap? You really got to push, and then do you see all of this that comes out? If you have older markers that are dry and they're not, you don't have to have like super juicy markers, but a newer marker definitely works better than an old drier marker. So give it a try, but put a little muscle behind it. You're not going to ruin your marker, so it'll be okay. And that is what, when I've watched people spritz, like in classes and stuff, that's usually what they do, is they're real dainty about it. Sometimes they might be worried about ruining my marker. Other times they just don't think they need to put the muscle behind it. And then when they do and it really spritzes right, then it's kind of exciting. So, all right. So I just, look at how many dimensionals. I never use this many dimensionals. I'm just going to place this right over the top, and nothing's sticking out that shouldn't be, I don't think. This might be a little bit, so I'm just going to, there we go. All right. Now I can adhere this to my card like so. And I don't know if you guys feel this way, but since I started spritzing stuff with my shimmer paint, I kind of can't stop. So I think I might actually spritz this with a little of my champagne mist. So it just adds such a nice touch to everything. So there's just a little bit of shimmer on there now. Okay, but we're going to embellish this once with just a little bit more. We have some new sequins that coordinate with this, the Woven Threads Sequined Assortment, which basically means they're the in-color sequins, which I love. Okay, so we're going to put these in. And hey, Whitney, if I have a pick your tool over there, can I have it? Yeah. Well, I don't mean to take one from your hand, but thank you. I don't know what happened to mine. I thought I had one over there. Okay, but we're going to use the little tacky stuff to pick up our sequins and tack them down. Now to adhere them, I'm just going to put dots of liquid glue. You can also use the fine tip glue pen as well. It's whatever you want. But what I'm going to do is just put kind of a bunch of these little sequin or glue dots for a bunch of sequins Okay, so I've got quite a few on here. And now I'll just pick these up. And I am going to place kind of the bigger sequins on my bigger dots that I put down. Okay. But look at how pretty this, and this adds a nice amount of sparkle. And it's so awesome adding, oops, I keep going upside down. There we go. They're a little bit more iridescent-y on the one side. Oops, stay there. And they come in different sizes, which I'm trying to get. There we go. Some more of those different sizes. Ooh, that one did not do what I wanted it to do. Oh my gosh, and then I just got my finger stuck in another one. Wow, this is not going as planned. Okay, regroup. Let's see what we can do. Is Carmen on here? Hi, Carmen. I'm so happy. I made you a card for you in my live earlier. Don't look at it. Kidding. You'll get it in the mail and it'll be awesome. Okay, this totally was going smoother before I messed up that one. Stay stuck. I hate it when my sequins don't listen to me. But I do, ooh, I really like those peacock ones. Those are pretty. Actually, I like all of them. Who am I kidding? There we go. Stay down. Let's see. Almost done. Thanks for sticking with me through this process. My goodness. I haven't had this much trouble sticking sequins down in a while. But I'll tell you, this pick your tool is really helpful. Put this little one over here. And another little one right here. And then that one can go right there. And I think that's all of them. And then we're going to let this dry. But you can see those sequins on here are really pretty. So there we go. Isn't that pretty? All right, so there's one of those two cards. Now the other one we'll do really quick as well. And we're going to alter this one slightly. Just to work with what I've got handy. All right, so on this one, it's going to go this way. So I've cut my piece of printed paper like that. All right, and then I've got another frame. This one is in Pretty Peacock that I've embossed already. And then I've got, once again, a 3x4 inch piece of that same pattern of printed paper. And by the way, we'll close that up before something bad happens. All right, next up, I'm going to take and stamp the I love you kind of all over the background. And we're going to do that in Sahara sand, which is one of the coordinating colors in this suite. And it's the color of the printed paper here. Oh, if you take the pokey tool end out, you can use it in your other hand to keep the sequins down. Well, isn't that a smart way to do it? Good thinking. Whoever just said that, sorry, your name has already passed by, but good idea. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp this several times, and you can see I'm not re-inking between each stamping. But I'm just going to kind of fill up the background with I love yous. Can you guys hear Bodhi? He's talking. He says, I love you, Dina. I'm sure of it. He's just the sweetest. Okay, so there we go. That looks pretty good. So we've got our backgrounds. All right. Then on this one, it's going to go on here like so. So that's easy. I'm going to adhere this straight to it, the frame, not popping it up like I did the other one. Okay. And then we'll add it to our cardstock like so. And actually I can pop up this whole piece. We'll do that. I love that he's talking now.
Had a snack, so.
Well, everybody's chatty after they eat.
It's true.
Okay, so that looks fantastic. Now we'll put this on a Sahara sand card base, which I'm grabbing. Like so. Isn't that pretty? Now, one of the things that comes in this suite is this really cool ribbon. What is it called? Woven Threads Trim. Well, that's not a very exciting name. But what's really cool about this trim is when you pull off that bottom piece, it releases the tassels on here. And then you have little tassels that you can add to your card. Okay. So I'm just going to snip that off. Now what I'm going to do to kind of hold this together is glue dot the end, just so that it won't run any further. Okay, and then I'm going to add those tassels to my card as well. And I think I'll put a glue dot on this right here. And then snip it off so that kind of holds it together. Like so. Okay. And then we're just going to kind of tuck this in underneath here a little bit. Okay, and then we've got a cute little tassel edge to the bottom of our card. Isn't that fun? So cool. So I love adding those little touches. He's fine, don't worry. All right. Now to finish this up, we're going to combine this with an old stamp set, which is the Pop of Petals. Okay. And we're just going to stamp this. We'll do this one. In some, let's see. We're going to stamp this in some Seaside spray on here. Okay. Okay. Now I've put a little dot on here that coordinates with my punch, so it's easy to line up. Isn't that handy? Okay, so I'm going to stamp this twice, like so. I'm really kind of going all out. Oh my gosh, I seriously was like, why won't this open all the way? It was because I was holding it tight. I wonder about myself sometimes. Okay. Next up, we'll curl these a little. Actually, I'm going to kind of, just to go with that little worn vintagey look, we're going to just kind of wiggle these leaves. I know, isn't it? They like hearing the sweet baby noises.
Come over anytime.
They get less sweet. Yeah, I remember those days. Okay, so there's kind of a cool little flower. Then we'll add this to our card with a dimensional. Kind of right on top, like that. Oh my gosh, do you hear that, you guys? Oh, it's so sweet. All right, now I'm also going to take some pear pizzazz and punch another one of these. And then we're going to use this one as leaves. And I'll do kind of the same thing. I'll just sort of wiggle those leaves to make them look kind of worn and vintagey. And then we'll put one right there. And yeah, they're not as cute at 2 a.m. I would probably agree with that. Whitney agrees too. Okay, so I kind of tucked that one in down there like so. So I've got my leaves on there. It's so pretty. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to do is add a couple of embellishments. So one of the things that we have new are these faceted gems, or no, faceted dots. Sorry, not gems, dots. And they're just really sparkly. They're really cool. So we're going to add a couple of these in both the Peacock and maybe even in that seaside spray. That's final answer. Okay, so these add kind of a pretty shine as well. I'm trying to decide where to stick it. And maybe one more up there. Just to be pretty. Kind of fun. And then we're going to add one more just to kind of even everything out over here. All right. And then last but not least, we're going to add one more embellishment. And it's going to be one of these. These are called designer elements, and we'll add one, I think, in copper. They have adhesive on them, and look at how cool that is. How fun is that? Okay, so there's our card. I'm not even going to put a sentiment on here besides the I love you that I stamped all over the place. I just think this is so pretty. So lots of little touches on this one too, but really pretty easy. I could probably have added, like, the sample in the card or the catalog has some sequins too, but I think we're good with this. And it's just really pretty. But what I really like is the look of this. And by the way, this flower I stamped on vanilla. It's not on white, it's on vanilla. But I think the vanilla with the soft seafoam, or no, holy tongue twisted that I am right now. Seaside spray with the vanilla and the Sahara sand and the pretty peacock, a really pretty color combination. Okay, so there we go. There's that one. All right, we've got two cards. One of them's really quick and the other one's pretty quick. And I was so going to try and go shorter. So much for that. Oh well. All right, our next card features some new printed paper, which is super fun. This is printed paper. Look at how fun that is. From the hold on, let me grab it. Because I can't even remember now. And this one comes in lots of cool colors. It is the See a Silhouette Designer Series paper. Lots of cool patterns on here. Kind of got that batik-y look to them, but they're really, really pretty. We're going to use this pattern, and this coordinates with the See a Silhouette stamp set. Another mouthful. I don't know who came up with these tongue twisters, but man. All right. I'm looking for my stamp set, and I don't see it, of course. But my desk is also a little on the berry. Oh, here it is. I was going to say, oh my gosh, I'm just knocking things over. Here's my See a Silhouette stamp set. So I wanted to take the little girl on the swing and incorporate this into a card. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to, first of all, die cut the tree. This is in the framelits. I wanted to die cut the tree on here to have her swing from that. I did that in black, so you can see it goes right over the top. And doesn't that look kind of cool? Okay, I also want to make sure that I can see her on the swing. And so I'm going to use my Stamparatus to do this. Okay. And let me explain why. I want to stamp my girl first. Okay, you guys are really going to laugh at me because I have the stamp out for her, but I think she's stuck to something because I can't see it. I didn't have it on a block because I was going to use my Stamparatus, and now I can't even find her. Let's make sure she's not stuck to the back of something. Where's my card base? I really don't see her. It also begs the question, how do things get lost so quick in my possession? It fell on the floor. That's how. Okay, so what I want to do, awesome, it fell on the floor and now it is full of lint. Okay, so what I want to do is stamp her onto my printed paper and do it in such a way so that you can see her hanging from the tree. Okay, so it's going to be roughly right there. Now I also really want to ensure that I can see her on here. And so my thought is, if the black doesn't work, like if I stamp it in black and it doesn't show up enough, then if I've got this on my Stamparatus, I can re-stamp it and emboss it so that it does show up, like in silver maybe. Okay, so I'm trying to get my magnet. My gosh, it does not want to come off. It's like it's strong or something. Okay, so let's get that down. Oh, hi! Can he make a guest appearance? Okay. Hold on, guys. Look at who's here. Who's that? Who's on there? Do you see? Who is that? Who's that sweet little boy? Isn't he just the cutest? Can you say hi?
Boy, say hi.
Hi. He's like,
Say hi. Over here.
whatever.
Say hi.
Aww. Isn't he the cutest?
But you gotta show him his best feature.
His best feature? Oh yeah,
Are
look at
these
these.
big
Look at these thighs. Squish them. Squish, squish, squish. Yes, he's a big boy.
All right, you let her finish.
All right. Sorry, guys. I just had to. Okay, back to our card. That was fun. A sweetie pie break. He was crawling his way on over to see me. Okay, so let's position this once again. I've got my die cut. And of course, I want to make sure I'm not going to adhere my die cut till I do my stamping because I want to make sure I can position it so that the tree is in the right spot. But I think I've got it on here pretty good so far. Okay, we're going to pick that up with our plate. Now, like I said, we're going to stamp it. I'm going to use Stays On because that's a really nice, solid, good, rich black ink. So I'm going to ink that up really well. Get it on here. And I can add another layer to it. Ooh, that looks pretty good, actually. I will add one more layer just to get it nice and solidly black. And of course, because I'm using my Stamparatus, it's just so awesome. You know what? I haven't taped my magnets yet. I actually, well, long story short, no, I have not, but I will. Okay, so now we've got her on there. And then we're going to add the tree. Now, because we stamped first, we can get the tree positioned just right. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this for the time being so we can put our card together. So we're going to pull back in our silicone mat. Now, when you come back to it, all the glue has dried. So you can just kind of roll it up and get rid of it. I've got a couple dimensionals kind of on here too. This is actually my favorite part of the process, is rolling up the little goober of glue. I know, it's weird, isn't it? And yes, as a child, I did enjoy putting paste on my palm and then peeling it off in a sheet. I won't lie, that's true. It is what it is, people. We don't judge at the Creativity Cave, so it's all good. All right, but I am going to glue this down to get all of that tree stuck. And honestly, if the whole thing isn't perfectly attached, that's okay too. But the key to this, by the way, is to hold this in one place so it doesn't move around. Okay, and then we've got really good adhesive on here. Okay, and then I'm just going to position this on here so that my swing is touching the branch. And then I also did get it so that the edge of the tree trunk was kind of right there. Isn't that cool? All right. I also potentially have the sentiment that goes with this, and it says, "Keep dreaming." And we're going to stamp that right there in black ink as well. Should probably put that on a block though, just saying. Okay. Keep dreaming. All right, isn't that pretty? Looks so cool. All right, we are going to simply adhere this to a pretty peacock card base and call it good. So, like I said, simple card. The die cut, of course, is the fancy part, and then the stamping just looks fantastic. Now, you could also die cut this in like silver foil, silver glimmer paper, whatever you want, and it would look pretty as well on here. Or you can emboss that little girl. You can emboss her in black. You could emboss her in, you know, a coordinating silver, gold, whatever strikes your fancy. Okay, isn't that pretty? So really simple. Okay, last but not least, we're going to use the beautiful Friendship stamp set. Like I said, I love this set. It's so pretty. I need my big, huge flower here. And I'm going to use my signature color because I've been really doing kind of some different colors from my usual typical Happy Brights, but we're going to finish it up strong here with a nice bright happy color combination. So I've got a Calypso Coral card base. I've got some, what is that color? Blueberry Bushel and Whisper White. All right, I'm going to combine that with a little bit of Daffodil Delight as well. And Granny Apple Green. So let me pull all those colors in so you can see them together, because I think they kind of paint a pretty picture, so to speak. There we go. So yeah, I did do, Amy, I'm glad you saw it. I did do a video using this stamp set with Sarah, and they were definitely my bright, happy colors. I loved making the video. It was a little intimidating to be stamping, not so much like with Sarah, but just on camera with Sarah. That was a little scary, but we did it in 2 takes. It was really fun. There is kind of a huge mess up right in the middle, so we kind of laughed about that, but it was good. We had a good time. All right, so I'm going to stamp this right here in my Blueberry Bushel, and then I'm going to stamp another one right up here, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to add some of these, I call them filler flowers. I don't really know what they are. Supposed to be, but I call them filler flowers because that's how I use them. All right, and I'm gonna add a couple like that, and maybe even one more, and then a couple like this right there. Okay, that looks good. I'm also going to add some leaves, and we'll do that in, of course, Granny Apple Green. And actually, I'm changing my tune just a teeny bit here. We'll see. I'm going to take and add one of these little buds right here, the smaller one, in Coastal Cabana. So to do that, I just want to do part of that flower. I'm going to take a little Post-it note and cover up the rest like that. Okay. Removing of the Post-it note, a very important step in this process, people. And then I'll just add that right there. Okay. Do it again. So I'll cover up this first one with my Post-it, ink this up, remove the Post-it. Really important step. Can't stress that enough. And then we'll take and stick that right there. Okay, perfect. Now it's kind of balanced, even, wonderful. We're going to add maybe just a little more floral greenery. That might be all that we can fit. I'll see if we can tuck one more right there. All right, pretty good. So there is our card. Now, of course, we're going to cover the center up a little bit with something. So I'm going to close these up because you guys all get upset when I leave them open. Just saying. All right. Now, I want to put something right here. And I had something else in mind, but I think this is what we're going to do. Well, you'll see. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in Blueberry Bushel on my Calypso Coral square. And then I've got my scalloped square right here that will adhere to a Bermuda Bay. Now, Bermuda Bay is not actually in my color scheme, but it works because it's like a darker shade of Calypso Coral, so it's all good. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my white polka dot tulle ribbon and just put this, do my zigzag trick that I love so much behind here, like so. And I'm also going to just hold on to that. I'm going to use a little snail to attach it. I don't use snail for much of anything, but something like this, it's really awesome. And then it holds it right on there. All right. excuse me, I'm gonna pop this up, of course, and then layer it up. And then I'm going to show you my other card and show you what I changed on this a little bit. But isn't that cute? I love this. Oh, is it your birthday, Amy? Happy birthday. Somebody's birthday. Birthdays are the best days with Dina. That's so sweet. Well, I hope it's your birthday, Amy, or whoever's birthday it is. Happy birthday. All right, so I started, my Whisper White panel is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I'm adhering that to a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of blueberry bushel. And then I will adhere this to my half sheet of Coastal Cabana. And isn't that awesome? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So those are my colors, my happy colors. You know, I'm a sucker for the Coastal Cabana. All right, so of course it really feels weird, so I think we probably should just put some clear Wink Stella. I mean, why wouldn't you, right? So I'm just going to kind of slap on some clear Wink Stella. I will show you though that this picks up the color, so just be aware of that. Clean it off before you go into a lighter color, and then be careful going kind of between areas because it will smear color in those in-between areas. All right, and then we'll go on that one too, and over the yellow. So you don't want to go from that blue to that yellow because you will smear it up, and that's no good. All right, so now I've got some shimmer just on my flowers. So a really pretty card. Oh, isn't that awesome? Wowsome, your new Dina word. I love it. Good job, Kathy. I love inventing words too. You know, that's my thing. Especially if they relate to stamping. Okay, we'll close up these ink pads before anything bad happens. Then I'll bring in all my cards to show you what I've got. All right, so first of all, we just finished the birthdays are the best days. Oh, that's why you said that, because it's a sentiment I used. But maybe it is your birthday. I don't know, whatever. Okay. Then we've got the Keep Dreaming with the Silhouette Scenes stamp set. Then we've got 2 with our Woven Heirlooms bundle. So pretty. Then we've got our Blessed to Be Your Friend, and then our impromptu add-on Pigment Sprinkles Hello card that was not with L's, but rather with brackets or something. We haven't decided what those were, but I still think it works, so there. All right, so lots of different kinds of cards today. I really sort of went away from my typical. Okay, now don't forget lots of good stuff to share here. First of all, you can still get in, well, okay, so let me back up. Share the video, share or order, and you'll get entered into a drawing for free stamps. I didn't do a drawing today, but we'll do double next week, and that's just because my stamp order isn't here with the free stamp, so I didn't have anything to actually give away yet. But we'll do that. We'll do doubles next week. So I'll give four away, 2 from last week, 2 from this week. So make sure to get entered. All you have to do is share this on Facebook or YouTube, and you'll be entered. Additionally, if you order, when you spend $50 or more, you'll get a fabulous PDF tutorial that has like 75 pages worth of fabulous new catalog projects. That is your gift when you shop with me. I also have my new catalog kickoff event. It's still going on. You have to register. The cost is $10, but it's refunded if you spend $50 with my host code, and then you'll also get that PDF tutorial. Additionally, if you spend more, you get more stuff. There's a free online class. There's a free pack of printed paper. So there's all kinds of good stuff. So the more you spend, the more you get. That is going on now. So make sure you check that out. So far there's 2 Facebook Lives in there, and there's tons of prizes that are getting given away. So you don't want to miss out on that. Also, Facebook classes for June will start June 18th, and I'll be posting the schedule if you're already in our Facebook class group. But Facebook classes are a really awesome way to learn new and creative ways to use your printed paper, great ways to stamp quicker, more efficiently, and lots of fun. Every month I get rave reviews. I've never had a bad month. Even though I kind of wonder how I keep coming up with such awesome projects, but every month I seem to do it, and I typically top off the month previous. So that's kind of awesome. I'd love to have you be a part of that. Like I said, we'll get started for the month of June on the 18th. And then this weekend, I have a really awesome team meeting that I'm super excited about. It's going to be quite the affair. We start on Friday and finish up Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to keep me pretty busy this week. Also, I've got 2 online classes this month. The Good Morning Magnolia is coming up on the 21st, and then also the Pretty Peacock is my Creativity to Go kit. Creativity to Go, and I will link the these are online classes. I will link those classes to the description of this video when I'm done here today, so that you can get registered for those. All right, guys, thank you so much for stamping with me. I had such a great time with you today. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these projects or products in use, and I will be right back here next Monday. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.